guys, today's reformer class is going to be a full body workout. I'm 11 weeks postpartum, so I'm still trying to get my strength back. So some of the springs might just be a little bit lighter than I normally would do. I will give heavier options if you want to do heavier. We're going to start with the foot bar all the way up in the top position. I'm going to use 2 reds and a blue spring, which is 2 heavy and a medium spring. If you want to go heavier, you could do 3 red springs, which is 3 heavy springs. But again, I'm going a little bit lighter because I'm not as strong. And we're also, later on in the workout, we're going to use a yoga block as a prop to lay on our side. You don't need it if you don't want it. I also have a head pillow, which I like to use. It's just more comfortable on my neck, but again, it's not necessary. So we're going to lay down on our back. We're going to start with those heels on the foot bar, hip distance apart. Flex those feet up to the ceiling. Keep that neutral spine, that little space between your lower back and the mat. And we're going to exhale, press the carriage all the way out, and then control it back in. You want to make sure those knees are parallel, so the knees are in line with the sit bones and the heels. Exhaling to press out. Slow and control as you come in. Think about pulling up through those quads at the top. We're going to do 5 more here. Control it down. This last one, we're going to press it all the way out. Then come in halfway and hold it. 10-second hold. 9, 8. Try to feel those quads. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to pulse it up 2 inches, down 2 inches. 10, 9, 8. The slower you go, the more you'll feel it. 7, 3, 2, 1. Press it all the way out long, and then come all the way in. We're going to drop down to your toes, parallel. Make sure those heels are lifted. You're pressing through all 10 toes evenly. Exhale, press it all the way out, and then resist it down. So you want to make sure you're pushing with those big toes too. Some people like to roll out to the side. The slower you pull it in, the more you'll feel those quads activating. Keep those heels lifted. We're going to do 5 more here. Last one, we're going to press it all the way out. Come in halfway and hold it again. 10-second hold, keep those heels high. 9, 8, try to actively squeeze those quads. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 little pulses for 10, 9. Keep those heels high. Last 3, 2, press it all the way long, keeping those legs straight. We're going to go into calf raises. Lower those heels all the way down below the foot bar, and then all the way up. So you want to get a nice stretch, and then get those heels high. Working through those ankle joints. 5 more here. Last one, keep those heels high. Now I'm going to drop that right heel low below the foot bar. Now I'm bending that left knee, getting deeper into that stretch of that right calf. And then we're going to lift both heels all the way up at the top and then switch. Drop that left heel below the foot bar, bending that right knee. Hold that stretch for a second. Then lift both heels high again. Drop that right heel. Switch, both heels high, drop that left heel. Now we're going to pick up the pace. So both heels high and then drop that right heel, lift it up, and then left heel. So going into a little running or prancing, stabilizing the hips and pelvis. Make sure both heels meet at the top first before you lower. We're going to do 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just hold that left heel low again. Deep stretch in that calf. And then the right heel one more time. And lift the both heels all the way up tall. Now we're going to turn those heels inward. So now we're in first position, toes apart. Heels are together. We're going to bend the knees in. So now we're in that Pilates first position or V position. And then press all the way out. Those heels are still slightly lifted. Controlling it down. Zipping up through those inner thighs. You still have that space between your lower back and the reformer. Five more here. Each time you press out, feel those inner thighs pull up and in, squeezing those quads. Last one, we're going to press it all the way out. Come in halfway, hold it. 10 seconds. 9, squeeze those heels together. 8, 7, 6, 5. Last 2, 1 little pulses for 10, 9, slow and control, 8, 7, you should feel those quads, 6, last 3, 2, press it all the way out long, and then come all the way back in. We're going to bring those heels wide to second position. You have a slight turn out. Those knees aren't dropped way out to the side. They're just slightly past the shoulders. Exhale, press it all the way out. Squeeze those glutes and quads. Control it in. Keep those toes flexed to the ceiling. We're going to do 5 more here. Last one, press it all the way out. Come in halfway, isometric hold, 10 seconds. 9, squeeze the glutes and quads. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're doing those 10 pulses, up 2 inches, down 2 inches, slow control. Last 3. Last one, we're going to press it all the way out long and then come all the way in. Just bring your feet to the center. We're just going to rock the legs side to side, feeling a nice little back stretch, trying to keep the shoulders down, relaxing the back and hips. And then come back to center. We're going to roll it up and change our springs slightly. So I'm going to take off one of my red springs. So now I'm on 1 red, 1 blue, which is 1 heavy, 1 medium spring. I'm going to put my headrest on the floor, and I'm going to lower my headrest all the way down to the flat position because we're going to go into bridging. So you want to protect the neck. So lay down on your back again. Our heels are hip distance apart, our arms are long by your side. We're just going to do a few pelvic tilts to activate the abdominals, the pelvic floor, as well as the glutes and hamstrings. So arms long, heels on, hip distance apart. You're just going to tuck the pelvis under, imprint that back. You're lifting the tailbone up just an inch. Now I want you to squeeze those glutes, pull the belly button in, and just hold it there for a second, and then release the pelvis back to neutral. Just a few of these. Exhale, tuck under, press it back down, squeeze those glutes, and then back to neutral. Try to keep that carriage as still as possible. Tuck under, press it back down, pull the belly button in. Think about lifting up through that pelvic floor. And then down. One more here, and then we're going to articulate up. So a little tuck under, hold it, abs are in, and then release. So do the same motion, but we're going to roll it up. So tuck that pelvis under, pull those abs in. Now slowly articulate up 1 vertebrae at a time, up through that spine. Make sure those knees are in line with the hips and the heels. Keep those abs and ribs in, no flaring. And then slowly roll down, articulating down through that spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, relaxing the pelvis at the bottom. Inhale, exhale, tuck under, roll up, slow and control. Hold it there, squeeze those glutes to the top, and then lengthen the spine long as you roll down. Tuck under and lift. Few more here. Make sure you can see your hip bone and your pelvis at the top. If not, then you're probably flaring the ribs. One more, we're going to roll it all the way up. Holding it there, abs are tight. Just hold that squeeze, 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, press through those heels, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now you're going to keep a flat back. You're just going to go down 2 inches and then up. Go slow and control. You're lifting through the hips and glutes, not the back. Each time you lift up, think about tucking that pelvis deeper. Keep that carriage still. We're going to do 5 more here. Last one, you're going to hold it up. Now we're going to press the carriage all the way out long. The hips will drop slightly, straighten those legs, and then pull that carriage in. As you pull it in slow, and then the hips get higher. Press it all the way out. If you can, if you don't want to go all the way out, that's fine. Slowly pulling that carriage in. You should feel those hamstrings and glutes work a little bit more as you pull it into the stopper. Three more here. Last one. Pull it all the way in and then roll down one vertebrae at a time. Upper back, middle back, lower back, and relax. Bring those knees into your chest, little rock side to side. Massaging out that back. And then we're going to hold on to the shoulder rests. We're going to bring those legs into tabletop. So I'm going to imprint my back down into the reformer. You're going to squeeze those knees and feet together. We're going to drop the legs over to the left side. You're keeping that right shoulder blade down. So don't go super far where you feel like your shoulder's coming up. And then you're going to exhale, come back to center. Drop the legs over to the right, keep that left shoulder down, and then exhale back to center. So it's a nice spine stretch as well as working those obliques. Exhale, scoop those abs in. Slightly over to the right, make sure those knees and feet are stacked together. If you can't keep them stacked, don't go as far. Inhale over. Exhale back to center. One more. Back to center. Holding it here, we're going to go into toe taps. So imprint that back into the mat. Arms can be long by your side. You're going to keep that 90-degree bend. Tap that right toe over the foot bar towards the wooden platform, and then exhale, scoop in. So inhale down. Exhale, scoop. As you exhale, think about pulling the belly button into the spine. This is really trying to activate those transverse abdominals, as well as that pelvic floor. Make sure that back is imprinted into the mat. If you can't keep that imprint, then don't go as low with the leg. We're going to do 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. Put those feet on the foot bar. We're going to go back into hip distance apart. We're going to do one more set of bridging exercises, arms long by your side. We're going to tuck that pelvis under, imprinting up through that spine, roll up one vertebrae at a time, squeezing those glutes at the top, holding it there. We're going to go into a little marching. So we're going to bring that left leg into tabletop, keeping that right hip high, and then switch. Drop that left heel, bring that right leg into tabletop, and then switch. So go slow. You're trying to stabilize the pelvis and hips, keeping those hips level. Four more. Last 2. And last 1. Hold it up there, squeeze those glutes. Hold it for 5, abs and ribs in. 4, pull the belly button to the spine. 3, 2, 1, roll down one vertebrae at a time, lengthening through that spine. And then we're gonna roll on up and we're gonna change your springs. I'm gonna take off my blue spring, and now I have on one red spring, which is one heavy spring. I'm gonna grab my headrest and put it on, or my pillow. You can lift the headrest up if you like. Hang up those reformer straps so they're easy to get into. We're gonna go into a little arm series supine. If you wanna go heavier on the springs, you could do a red and a blue, which is that heavy and medium spring. We're gonna lay down on our back again. Reach back and grab your reformer straps. You're gonna press the carriage out slightly, reach those fingertips long to the ceiling. My wrists are over the shoulders, maybe slightly in front. Bring those legs into tabletop, imprint your back. So you're pressing your back down into the reformer, pulling the belly button into the spine, and just hold it there, dropping the shoulders down the back. You're going to exhale, press those arms down to the hips, just to a hover, fingertips are long. And then back just to that shoulder height position. As you exhale, pull the belly button into the spine, suck the belly button in deeply, and then back up shoulder height. Keep going here. Make sure those elbows are straight as you press it down. Two more here. Last one. Bring those arms up to the ceiling. We're going to drop them out to a T position. So again, my hands are just below the shoulders. Your palms are going to face your thighs. You're going to bring those hands down towards your hips and then back out to a T position. Exhale, press down, reaching those fingertips long to the foot bar, and then back out to the side. Pull the belly button in. Four more. Last two. Last one, bring those hands down by your hips. Now we're going to bring those arms up to the ceiling, bring it out to a T, drop it down, and then up and around. So doing arm circles, exhaling to press down. Once you have that motion, try to let it flow. Do not drop the hands below the reformer. Three more in this direction. Last one. And we're going to reverse directions. So press those arms straight down to the hips, out to the side to a T, back up to the ceiling. Exhale, press down. Open out to the side, up to the ceiling, and down. So now try to let it flow once you have the movement. Keep pressing that back down into the reformer. Four more here. Last two. Last one, press those arms all the way down, hold it there to a hover. Now we're going to bend those elbows into 90 degrees and then exhale, press them all the way out long. So my elbows are about an inch off the reformer. If you want, you can keep them down on the reformer. That makes it a little bit easier, but I like to keep it at a hover. Make sure you get that full extension of those arms, activating those triceps. Keep pulling the belly button in as you exhale. Three more. Last one, press it all the way out. Then bring those arms up to the ceiling. Rest the feet on the foot bar for a second. Little rock with the legs side to side. Feeling a stretch in the back and hips. One more each way. And then come back to center. We're going to do a few more things here. Reach those arms up to the ceiling. Press that back into tabletop, or bring those legs back into tabletop. We're going to press those arms down to the hips, holding it there. We're going to reach that right leg out long, bring it up to the ceiling. Left leg is bent. You're reaching those arms long. You're going to lower the leg, right leg down slightly, and then exhale, scoop up and in. Lower down, inhale, and exhale, lift. Only lower that right leg as much as you can without arching the back. If you can't go very low, that's fine. Keep trying to press those fingertips long. If you don't like using the reformer straps, then just drop them down behind you and just do the motion with the legs. Inhale down, exhale, scoop up and in. Two more. Last one. And bend that right leg in, reach that left leg up to the ceiling, lower down, inhale, and exhale, scoop up and in. Keep reaching those arms long. Last two. Last one. Lower the left leg slightly. Now we're going to switch little bicycle. Reach that right leg long and switch. Keep those arms stretching. Press that back down into the reformer. You can keep those legs high if you need. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend those knees, arms up to the ceiling. We're going to drop the straps down into the well for a second, and we're going to roll on up. We're going to keep the foot bar at this top-notch position, and we're going to go put your feet up against these shoulder rests. Arms are on the foot bar. We're going to press the carriage back slightly. So now you're in a modified push-up position. So those hips are pushing towards the springs. Those abs are tight and pulling up and in. Straight arms. You're going to press the carriage back as far as you can. And then try to take about 5 seconds to pull it in. So 5, 4, 3, slow, 2, and 1. If you want to make this harder, you can drop it down to a blue spring, which is a medium spring. Pressing it back as far as you can. Abs are in. Tuck that pelvis. Slowly pull. Use those arms and abs. And then keep going. The slower you pull it in, the more your arms and abs have to work. My core is still getting back into it. I'm still trying to strengthen after my pregnancy. So that's why I'm doing it on the red spring. Slow and control. Think about sucking the belly button up to the spine. So the only thing that is moving here is that shoulder joint. You're pressing the carriage back. You're not moving those hips. Those hips are staying still that whole time. Keep going here. Let's do 3 more. Last one. Slowly pull it in, slow. Suck the belly button in, in, in. And then let's just push back into a little child's pose. Straightening those arms, lift that tailbone up to the ceiling. Try to relax the neck between the shoulders. And then round the spine. We're going to come all the way into the stopper. Okay, modification. You're going to push those hips back. You're going to push those shoulders back, and then you're just going to pull the knees in and then press back. So you're going to pull it in, rounding that spine, and press back. Otherwise, we're going to come up into a full plank. So hands are on the foot bar. You're going to lift those heels up against the shoulder rest. And you're going to press back into a plank position. Abs are tight. Squeeze those glutes. Now you're just going to bend the knees in and then press it out just for 10. The shoulders are still. Bending those knees in and press back. 2, 3, try to hold it out at the plank for a second. 4, squeeze the glutes at the back. 5, 6, 3 more. 8, 9, last one, we're going to press out, hold that plank. Squeeze those glutes, shoulders are just past the foot bar, 10 seconds, pull the belly button in, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pull it all the way in and drop down to your knees. We're going to change the springs. I'm going to put on a blue and a white spring, which would be a medium and a light spring on my machine. You could also do one single red spring, which is one heavy spring. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to put my headrest on the floor and put the headrest all the way down. You're going to reach down and grab your reformer straps. I'm going to put my feet between the shoulder rests. You can cross them or you can keep the legs out wide. Make sure there's about, a hand distance or a few fingers behind you. So grab the straps with both hands, sitting up tall through that spine, lengthen long, arms are long, straight arms. You're going to press the hands back past the hips, opening up the chest and shoulders, and then resist it forward just to the knees. Exhale, press. Try to keep that head neutral, looking forward. Straight arms, opening up the chest and shoulders. Four more here. Last 2. Last one. And slowly pull it in. Now we're going to turn those palms up to the ceiling, tuck the pelvis under slightly. Keep those elbows lifted. You're going to pull it in like doing bicep curls, and then control it out. Suck the belly button in. Make sure you get that full extension of those arms. You're not moving those elbows, you're just hinging at the elbow joints to squeeze those biceps. Four more. Last 2. Last one. Slowly release, and we're going to sit up tall. Now we're going to cross the straps, and you're going to put your hands through the straps up to the elbow joint. So we're going to lift those elbows up, palms are facing your face, sitting up tall through that spine. We're going to open those arms out to the side. My palms are still facing my face, and then bring it back to center. Open those elbows wide. Squeeze those shoulder blades together at the top. This is such a good posture exercise. And then back to center. So we're not leaning back with the chest. We're sitting up tall. Now the only thing that is moving is these arms out to the side. Keep dropping the shoulders down the back. Eyes are looking forward. Four more. Last 2. And last one. And bring it back to center. Keep those hands in the straps. You're just going to grab up higher on the metal where the loop is, or maybe your tape, sitting up tall. We're going to do a narrow row. So you're going to bring those elbows narrow, pull them past the hips, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then all the way forward. So this might feel light, but is such a good posture exercise that you don't really need to go heavy. You're focusing on the form, lifting up tall through that spine. Elbows are narrow, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then all the way forward. Two more here. Last one. Pull it back there, hold it 10 seconds, lengthen through the spine. 9, 8, drop the shoulders down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. You're gonna uncross the straps, hang them up, and just do a little stretch forward as much as you can. Try to relax the back. Feel a stretch in those hamstrings. And then roll on up. Okay, we're gonna reach down and I'm gonna grab my yoga block and put it on my headrest. You can also grab your pillow if you prefer that. I'm gonna put on or keep my blue and white spring, which is my medium and light spring. You can keep that red spring. We're gonna do a little side lying. So you're gonna lay down on your right side. Make sure your bottom is towards the back edge of the reformer. You're gonna grab the strap that's closest to your face, press the carriage out. I'm putting my right foot into the strap. You're gonna lift up through that bottom left rib so you're not sinking down, so lift it up so those hips are stacked. You're gonna bend the leg, right leg, so you're at a 90-degree bend. Make sure the shin is in line with the reformer. You're gonna exhale, press the leg all the way out long towards the foot bar, and then bend that leg back into 90. Full extension, squeezing that glute. Control it in. Exhale as you press. Four more here. Last one, press it all the way out. Keep that leg straight. You're gonna sweep it forward just a few inches. Make sure your butt sticks out behind you, and then sweep that leg back to the foot bar. So a little sweep forward, it doesn't have to be much, and then sweep it back to the foot bar. You only wanna sweep the leg back to where it's just slightly in front of you. You don't want the rope to hit you in the face, otherwise you've brought that leg back too far. Slight sweep forward and pull back. Three more here. Last one. Sweep it back to the foot bar. Bend that knee back in, halfway, hold it still. 10 seconds. 9, breathe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Press it all the way out long for a second, holding it there. You're going to turn the toe and knee up to the ceiling and bend the knee in. So you're bringing that knee in towards the shoulder, but not all the way in, and then all the way out. So keep that heel lifted. You don't want to bring that heel towards your bottom. All the way out, squeezing that glute. Toe and knee are up to the ceiling. Four more. Last two. Last one, we're going to press it all the way out. Bend it in halfway, holding it there. Don't move the carriage. You're going to lower it down and lift just for 10. 9, little fire hydrants. 8, you can stop if you need. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that foot out of the strap, drop it into the well, roll over to your back, and cross that right leg over the left to do a figure 4 stretch. Breathe into it. Try to relax this right glute and hip. A few more breaths here. Deep breath in and exhale. And then we're going to sit on up and roll over to the other side. So make sure that reformer strap is hung up. I'm going to lay on my right side now. Make sure your bottom is pushed back to the edge of the reformer. Grab that strap that's closest to your face. Push the carriage out. I'm going to put my left foot, my top leg into the strap. Create a 90-degree bend with that left leg. Lift up through the bottom right rib. We're going to press the carriage all the way out towards the foot bar and then bend that leg back into 90 degrees. Exhale, press reach. Control it in. Each time you bend that leg in, make sure that shin is parallel with the reformer. Two more. Last one, we're going to press it all the way out. Holding that leg straight, you're going to sweep it forward a few inches, make sure you stick your bottom out, and then sweep that leg back. So straight leg, make sure that foot is in line with the hip. Only sweep that leg back to where the rope is just in front of your face. You don't want it to hit you. Four more. Last one. Now we're going to bend that knee back into 90 degrees. Hold it there 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2. Press the leg all the way out to the foot bar. Toe and knee up to the ceiling. External rotation. Bend that knee in. And then exhale, press out. When you bend it in, make sure that shin is lifted. Make sure those hips aren't rolling back. Four more here. Full extension. Last two. Last one. Press it all the way out. Coming halfway again, bending that knee. Don't move the carriage. We're going to lower it down enough for fire hydrants for 10. 9. Keep that carriage still. 8. Stop if you need. 7. 3. 2. 1. And release. You're going to take that foot out of the strap and hang it up. Roll over to your back. And we're going to cross that left leg over the right, doing a little figure 4 stretch, feeling a nice stretch in that left glute. Breathing into that stretch. You can rock that leg side to side. And then we're going to roll on up, change our springs one more time. So I'm going to put the yoga block back onto the floor. I'm going to grab my head pillow. Make sure both straps are hung up because we're going to do feet and straps. So I'm going to change my springs now to a red and a blue, which would be one heavy, one medium spring. We're going to lay back down on our back. Reach back, grab your reformer straps. You're gonna press the carriage out. You're gonna put one foot into the strap, put tension in that leg, and then other foot. Reach those legs up to the ceiling so the legs are straight. You're gonna press the feet down towards the foot bar and then control it back up. I like to imprint my back for this so I know my abs are engaged. So you only want to go as low as you can without arching that back. And then you only want to lift the legs as high as you can without lifting that tailbone. So if you're not as flexible, then don't come up to 90 degrees, just stop it a little short. And if you're super flexible, don't let the legs go past 90. Exhale to press down. Control it up. Two more here. This last one, we're going to press down, hold it down there. Now we're going to turn the toes out, squeezing those heels together. You're going to bend the knees in for frog, and exhale, press it all the way out to the foot bar. Squeezing those heels, make sure the shins are lifted, and full extension all the way out. As you press out, think about zipping up through those inner thighs, lengthening the legs long over the foot bar. Four more. Last one, you're going to press it all the way out, keeping the legs straight. We're going to bring the legs up to the ceiling. We're going to open both legs out and around. So leg circles. Squeezing those heels together at the bottom before you bring it up to the top. Opening out and around. You want to stabilize the hips and pelvis so they're not rocking side to side. Make sure you're pulling with both legs evenly. Two more here. Last one, and we're going to reverse directions. So lower the legs down to the foot bar, circle them out and around, and then all the way back together before you lower. Stabilize the hips and pelvis, bring the legs together, and then lower down. So try to let it flow once you get the motion. Two more. Last one. And then bring the legs up to the ceiling, grab the ropes, just pull down slightly to feel a stretch in the calf and hamstrings. And breathe. You can bend one leg and then the other. If that feels good. And then we're going to slowly take one foot out of the strap, put it on the foot bar, other foot, come all the way in, drop the straps into the well. You're going to roll on up. Just take off the red spring, so you're on one blue spring, one medium spring. We're just going to do a single thigh stretch. So left foot is on the floor, right foot is up against the shoulder rest, hands are on the foot bar. Lift that chest up. You're going to bend that left knee, tuck the pelvis under so you're pressing that right hip forward. So you should feel a nice stretch down the right hip flexor. Take a few breaths here. See if you can sink deeper and tuck the pelvis a little bit more. Try to relax the shoulders. And then pull that carriage in. Hands stay on the foot bar. You're going to straighten out that left leg. Lift the toes up to the ceiling, square off the hips. Lean that chest forward. So the more you flex those toes up, the more you should feel a stretch down the calf and hamstring. And then pull that carriage all the way in. You're going to go over to the other side. So right foot is on the floor. Left foot is up against the shoulder rest. You're going to bend that right knee. Keep that chest tall. Tuck the pelvis under. Try to press that left hip flexor forward. See if you can sink a little deeper, tucking the pelvis a little bit more. Relax those shoulders. A few breaths here. Come all the way in. We're going to straighten out that right leg. Lift the right toes up to the ceiling, square off the hips. Press the carriage back. Lean that chest forward slightly. And then come all the way in. We are all done with this workout. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.